With the Raptors officially eliminated from the playoffs, they elect to go with their young/new guys, but eventually fall to the Los Angeles Clippers. 115-96 is your final. Raps record now 27-42 with 3 games left. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raptors Night Cap. Randy Urban alongside Sherman Hamilton, Paul Jones, and Leo Rautins. Jonesy, I'll start with you. You know, they're down a bunch of guys, playing the young guys, but they didn't back down today. What impressed you about the Raptors' play despite the loss?
Well, and I think that's one of the things that impressed me, Randy, what you talked about. They didn't back down. And I continue to extol this, that you build culture when you're winning and it gets tested when you're losing. And the Raptors have built a culture of they play hard and they expect to win. Those are the main things. What we can't define this word culture. What is it? It's a way, to me, it's a way of doing things with expectations attached. Mm-hmm. And the way the Raptors do things is they play hard, they play together, they play the right way, and they expect to win doing that. And even though they're down, 4 starters, the 4 guys that had their hands on the trophy, the team that Nick Nurse rolled out onto the floor did that. They played hard and they expected to win. And this game was, I never got the feeling that they were a threat to win, but they didn't get blown out. They kept, it was 19, 17, 15, 13, 15, 13, 11. They kind of kept hanging in. And that's a testament to the development and I think the culture that's been laid down. I was impressed with the way everybody played. Not everybody had great nights, but I don't think anybody took the night off or decided to mail it in.
Yeah, and Sherman, it looked like there were a few times where I wouldn't say punking them, but the Clippers were, trying to kind of get in the Raptors, heads a little bit, right? DeMarcus Cousins kind of got into it. Rajon Rondo, I saw he intercepted a high five between Watanabe and Gillespie at the free throw line, just kind of doing these little things, but it didn't really faze the Raptors. And you like that from the young guys for sure.
Well, this is why these games are good for the young guys, to experience things like that, where veteran guys try to do things to take you out of your game, take you away from what you're supposed to be doing to help your team. And you've got to figure out a way to navigate that. And nobody backed down and nobody retreated in any way. And I think this is why these last few games are so valuable in terms of experience and growth and all the things that they're going to have to navigate throughout these last few games. It's great for them. And I think if you're the Clippers, I mean, look, you're hanging tough in that Western Conference, one of the top 3 seeds in the Western Conference. You're trying to get to a championship. These games are important. And they tried to act like this young group of Raptors were going to lay down, and they didn't do that. So it helped the Raptors young guys. It also helped the Clippers understand that they've got to play at a higher level consistently if they want to be the team they want to be. So I like the way the young guys responded. And I like the fact that even though DeMarcus Cousins, which, by the way, he does that to everybody, not just the young Raptors, I like the way that they stood up for themselves and continued to play hard.
Mm-hmm. Leo, was there somebody that stood out to you from the Raptors?
I like the continued progress of Freddie Gillespie. I just think that he just continues to show a little bit more and more. I love the way he protects the rim. He knows, if you're a shot blocker, you're going to get dunked on. He's not afraid of that. He'll go up and contest anybody inside. I like his footwork. I like his patience when he gets the basketball in traffic. And it was good to see, Chris Boucher coming back. Missing 9 games. Obviously, you're not going to, shoot the great percentages and things like that. But I thought he played with a lot of energy. He did a lot of good things on the floor. And you really think back that, at the time that he went down, the Raptors were getting bodies back and things could have gone different. Had they had everybody available to them before, things kind of went sideways again. So, good to have him back and see him play. But as everybody else said, this team, I think it's a great opportunity for all these young guys right now that everybody they're playing is playing for something, right? Mm-hmm. And you can play a spoiler, but you're getting the best shot of all these teams because they want to get rid of you. They can't afford a loss. So it's a great environment to see what a Malachi Flynn, what a Jalen Harris, what a Khem Birch, what a Gary Trent, what are they going to do in this environment? Who's going to react to the pressure of being down 10 And are you going to stay with the system, or are you going to get into what you want to do? You learn a lot about players in these situations, so it's a great opportunity to evaluate for management.
Yeah, I love the blocks from Gillespie. Those just two huge plays. But Jonesy, also just going back to what Leo said about Boucher, there was a moment in the game there where he kind of got it in transition. It made a little inside-outside move with the ball around half court, which I hadn't seen from him. Obviously, he doesn't get that opportunity that often. But is that kind of play something that you think you'll see more of going forward from him? Just that ability to make a few extra plays, especially in transition?
Well, Nick talked about that at one point during one of his news conferences, playing like a perimeter guy and learning that. And that's a part of his game that's going to develop, or he's trying to develop. And again, you use a game like this for those kinds of things within the system, and not to get too individualistic, but yeah, you're working on your game. You're getting experience. I liked what I saw tonight from Jalen Harris again. Fearless guy, kid's not afraid, and it's not a bad young backcourt going forward with he and Malachi Flynn. They're defensive acumen, both of them. They don't mind getting down and playing the defense. They're aggressive on the offensive end. They show pretty good basketball IQ. So they're developing their game the same way as you mentioned with Chris Boucher and the play that he made. Everybody's trying to get a little bit better. And what I like is they're all doing it within the scope of the system. I mean, where else does tonight we saw Malachi get switched on to Kawhi Leonard and you're guarding the two-time finals MVP? Like, unless you're going to play pickup in LA and it doesn't matter. Here, you're in a game, you got a system, you got stuff you're trying to accomplish. There are officials. You can't practice that. And that's why, as Sherman and Leo have both said, that's why these games are important for development. I wouldn't say regardless of the score you want to win, but that's something that you have to consider, one of the primary parts of the focus right now.
Sure. Let's talk about the Clippers for a little bit. Play a little game with me. The Clippers will win a championship if
Kawhi Leonard is extremely healthy, if Paul George can get to the level they need him to get to, if their bench can respond consistently, if Rondo can apply that championship pedigree at the point guard spot. And, there's just so many things that I could about with this Clippers team. I tell you what, the last time the Raptors played them, I didn't see really potential for them to be a championship contender. Seeing Kawhi today, he looked a bit different. He looked a bit healthier. He looked like he could turn it on when he wanted to, but you could see that he couldn't do it for extended periods. That's the next step. Can Kawhi get to that point? And can Paul George ride shotgun at a high level with him consistently? Those are the questions that have to be answered. And it's interesting that you look at this Clippers team and you're saying to yourself, you shouldn't be questioning the two top players, whether or not they can get it done. You should be questioning everybody else if they could support them. But there's questions surrounding both those guys. And to me, that's what makes me very concerned about their championship aspirations. This is a tough Western Conference, but a lot of guys are injured right now. So things could go a bit haywire if guys don't get healthy.
Yeah, a lot of ifs there. Leo, something or nothing. Paul George signing his extension before the season, and then Kawhi Leonard not.
You can read into all that stuff all you want. I'm not going to do that. But I just don't think I don't think the Clippers have it. As Sherb said, there's too many ifs. The one guy you can count on if he's healthy is Kawhi. I don't know who else you can count on that team. And when you got a lot of ifs, you're going to have a lot of issues. I haven't seen them play really at any point in time with a sense of urgency, like they really want it badly. So I don't see them. And again, a lot depends on the health of everybody else. And it's just a crazy time, crazy season. So nothing surprises you. But would I look at them as a team that's going to win it? No.
Jonesy, this is the streak for the Raptors playoffs ends now. What do you make of that? What are your thoughts on that as we close out this season here?
It's been a great run. And look, I think with a healthy squad this year, if they weren't hit with the COVID stuff with the players and the coaches just around the All-Star break, they could have been in the playoffs again. So, you know, you take a 1-year hiatus, you come back. Hopefully some of your guys have learned. You retool and you start it up again. It was a great run. And the good thing for me, for all of us, was watching it build, go from, you know, losing to Brooklyn in this first round to, you know, then, I mean, it's not linear. You get swept by Washington and everybody's ready to take things apart. And then boom, the next year you get to the conference finals and then you can't get past that guy LeBron for a couple of years. He moves west, you make a trade. It's the run. Like I said, it's not linear. It doesn't go like this. It was kind of like being on an escalator where you go up and down, but the thing's still going up no matter what happens at the end. And they got to a championship, and now they've got to go back down and do it again.
Sure. Guys, I don't know how you guys feel, but if the Raptors are in Toronto this season,
it's different.
Even with COVID hitting this team, they still, to me, seem like they'd be a 4 to 6 team in the Eastern Conference, because you can't look at the Knicks and think that they're that much better than the Raptors, and they're sitting in 4th. You know, Atlanta sitting in 5th. I mean, these are teams that the Raptors could definitely compete with, but they won't say it. But not being in Toronto had a significant impact on them, especially when they got hit by COVID. Not being able to be comfortable in their surroundings, I think that made a difference.
100%.
Yeah.
Leo, it's your final show of the season, so you get the last
word. Thank God. Oh. Wow.
Wow, that's how he does us.
Hey, I think that was directed
at you guys. Not you guys.
Oh, me?
Oh. Okay, I agree. I agree. Wow,
yeah.
I agree too then, Leo.
Yeah, exactly.
Leo, what's your off season gonna look like?
My off season, I think that's pretty clear. I'm gonna get some sun and I'm gonna twine and I'm gonna whine.
Right.
Simple as that, Randy. Simple as that.
Hey, can we come down there for a little bit?
Huh?
Borders closed, man. Where are you going?
Okay. Look, we can make it down there. We can. Is there any room?
If you can get there, there's room. Okay.
I'll bring
if you
the
can
dog.
get there, there's wine. So come on down.
All right.
You know, you may have to sleep with one of my big dogs, but you know what? They're comfortable. So it's all right.
No questions asked. I don't know about that, but all right. Appreciate you guys doing this.
Seriously,
okay, man.
You're gonna reject my dog?
That's the best company you've had in the last little while.
That's right. Nothing like a 150-pound dog to make you feel
sorry for the dog, huh?
Sorry for the dog, huh? Life's tough right now. Hold on to that, Herbs.
Scarce in a pandemic. All right, guys, I appreciate you doing this. We got to stop it there. Unfortunately, lots more to get into on that topic. But next game for the Raptors, Thursday night. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching. You can click to watch our last episode or to subscribe to the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode.